Well, thank you so much for sticking with us here for Sunrise Extra. We'll go ahead and get these cameras. They're a little bit messed up. I had to have a quick talk here, of course, with Lisa and Lindsay. Thank you all so much for being here. Of course, we're talking about October's Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness Month, and this is such a huge thing to talk about. It's something that people haven't really talked about in the past, right?
Yes, absolutely. I think, we in the community realize that people don't want to hurt our feelings. And so they don't want to bring up our babies' names. They don't want to talk about it. And so that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to change that narrative. So please say our babies' names.
Well, and Lindsay, even right now, you're holding something so special to you that does have your baby's name. Tell me about Bryant.
Yes, so this is my candle. We use it on October 15th every year for the Wave of Light. We actually took it to Yankee Candle with a picture of Bryant so we could create our own label. But on October 15th, no matter where you're at in the world, you should light a candle at 7 p.m. so that there's a wave of light for our angels.
Lisa, why is it so important to talk about this too?
Well, infant loss is one of those things where people often just sweep it under the rug. They don't really see it as a real loss, unfortunately. And 1 in 4 women lose a baby to miscarriage. 1 in 175 lose a baby as a stillborn baby. And so that's a lot of babies every year that families are, their hopes and dreams have been crushed. And so we want to talk about it. We want to raise awareness. We want to acknowledge. We want to say their name. It's very important that we acknowledge that they are part of their family. They were babies. They were part of the hopes and dreams of that family. And so I just love, this is our 2nd annual Angel Walk, and I love that we're doing this. There are a lot of families already registered. We have over 350 people already registered to come for the walk. That's super exciting to be able to love on these people, because a lot of times it's like, oh, you're young, you'll have another baby, all these little platitudes that come out from people, and those aren't always very helpful.
So what are some things that people should or shouldn't say, because it's always such a, tough time for someone, but you want to be there, show support, but at the same time, you don't want to cross a line that would cause more harm than good.
Absolutely. I think, even with living children, we want to talk about our families and our babies. So say their name, ask what their name is. I always think to say it presently. What is your baby's name? What is your angel's name? Just because they passed doesn't mean their name is passed. Ask what they look like. Ask if, people are comfortable sharing pictures of their babies. Bryson, that's my angel, I'm sorry. That's my rainbow, I'm sorry. Bryant was so chunky and he was precious, and I love showing him off. I love talking about him. All the women in my group want to tell their babies' names too and their angel stories.
And I mean, it seems like we're using such strong, powerful words: rainbow babies, angels, even babies born sleeping,
Yes.
too. Those words are so strong to, I guess, kind of take it back and remind people that these are babies, these are humans, too.
Yes.
How powerful is that language, instead of saying things that might seem insensitive?
Absolutely. I think, we as a community have really turned that language and that narrative around to make it more comforting to the community, so we can talk about it.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
And when it comes to grief response, Lisa, I mean, tell us about the importance of just talking about this and getting it out and sharing that people aren't alone through this process.
Yes, so we help people primarily with sudden loss through first-hour grief recovery, and we often just sit and listen with people. You asked about what you can do for somebody. Sometimes it's just sitting and listening, not trying to fix it. There's a lot of times not even having the right words, right? I don't know what to say. Unfortunately, that does scare people off, and so they do nothing. But, you can sit with somebody and just listen and not feel like you have a need to fix something for a person who's lost a baby or a spouse, or we unfortunately serve in a variety of ways, infant loss certainly, but suicide, overdoses, car crashes, any type of sudden unexpected loss. And so that's really what our ministry is about.
And this Angel Walk is going to be a great way for people to get connected to. Tell us a little bit about that, because that's coming up on October 4th. That's soon.
Yeah, absolutely. So it is October 4th. The event starts at 9 a.m. and ends at noon, but our walk itself is going to start at 10 a.m. Excuse me. It's at Broad Run Park off of Bardstown Road, like you're heading in towards Mount Washington. There's a pavilion so that it is covered just in case the rain decides to come because we live in Louisville. You never know.
You never know. It's always a surprise.
But we have a ton of vendors. So we have some things that are going to be for sale that will be able to be made with our angels' names on it. So we're just really excited.
Yeah, a lot of family-friendly things. We've got angel pumpkins that kids
Yes.
can decorate. We're going to have face painting. We'll have some yummy donuts from Sugar and Spice. Honey Brothers is donating all the coffee. And Shirley's Way has been our presenting sponsor this year, and they've just been always stepping up to help out our ministry. So we really appreciate them.
Absolutely. And the shirts that we're wearing today are actually going to be on sale at the walk. So
Yeah. and
So
you-
a great way to get people connected there too.
Yes.
And it's the second annual one too. So last year being the first one, what was that response like? And to be able to bring people together to talk about this?
it was beautiful.
it really was.
I think that's the best way to describe it, to see the different angels that were being represented and to even see families and maybe some older women say, I've had a loss, but nobody's ever talked about it.
Yeah, that's what we find is a lot of people, once you start talking about this, oh my gosh, that happened to me too. You know, 1 in 4 women have a miscarriage. That's a pretty high statistic. So, a lot of people will start talking about it once you talk about it.
And is this something that, I mean, I feel like in recent years, people have finally been able to open up about that and have that experience where they can say, hey, this happened to me. And I have a friend who went through this, because for so long it was just quiet and, you're supposed to deal with that in private. Have you seen a shift recently?
Absolutely. I think because there's more statistics coming out, because there's more data coming out, we are seeing that shift. We are seeing that conversation happen. And I think more people are becoming more comfortable with the conversation.
Lindsay leads a group too on the first and third Wednesdays of every month, and it's both hybrid and in person. So there is a place for you to come and talk about this. Whether you're not feeling like getting out of bed or leaving the house, that's totally fine. Just know that there's a group of women that are talking about this, and you are more than welcome to join. It's free, and we would love to have you.
So we have the Angel Walk coming up, but how else can people get connected with you all if they have any grief to share, whether it's infant loss or anything else?
Absolutely. So they can absolutely connect with us through First Hour Grief Recovery. You can find us on social media, but you can also go to our website as well. Like Lisa said, I do host a support group. It's the most incredible group of women I've ever met, and they're strong, and we say our babies' names very often.
Any other way that you recommend people reach out? And I'm sure you're encouraging them, get help.
Get help for sure. Come and talk about it. There's no shame in talking about what happened. It is a different type of loss than any other loss because, your baby's dreams and hopes just aren't going to happen. And so how do I navigate that? There's so many different things that you're dealing with. Like, what do I do with the baby clothes? What do I do with the baby's room? There's just so many questions. People aren't talking to me about it. They're acting like it didn't happen. There's just all these different issues. Plus, grief is just this roller coaster of emotions. So how do I process that? And am I going crazy? Is this normal? Just normalizing it for somebody. And so coming and talking about it is one way. We do one-to-one mentoring too. So if you just don't feel like the group thing, you can come in and meet with a mentor one-on-one, and we can help you that way.
And we have a chance to honor all of those babies coming up on October 4th with the Angel Walk. We're looking forward to being together and bringing that group together. Thank you all so much for sharing this, because hopefully this message really hits home for someone who can turn that grief into something else and be connected with a great group. So thank you all so much for sharing that story.
Thank you
too.
so much for having us.
Yes, thank you, Olivia.
We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back in 2 minutes.